In today's video we talk about disc conversions, bike mock-ups, and put some decals on a bike kind of slightly wonky.
So yeah, I definitely did just add this one here, and it is wonky.
Oh yeah, that's right, I also set fire to the bike. The internet didn't like this. So before I go into the video and we talk about all these wonderful things, a couple things. One, there was no video last week. Last weekend was the Krusty Cruise 2, which was my second ever group ride, which nearly 50 people turned up to, which I still haven't quite got on over, but it kind of looked a little bit like this. But that's all I'm showing you for now. Probably next week or at some point during the week, I'll make a video for the Krusty Cruise. I didn't get that much footage myself, annoyingly, but I did get a lot of you guys to send me footage, which was really helpful, so thank you. So we'll make a collaborative video, essentially. But the bike I rode on that day, which if you've seen some of those videos on Instagram so far, you might have seen a few glimpses of it, is the Saracen Andes I picked up over a year ago now, and I decided it was the perfect time to build it up, but not just like any of my normal builds, kind of like the ultimate mountain bike. Retro mountain bike, that is. So the first thing to mention is actually the disc brake conversion that I've had done on this frame. Firstly, it is beautiful. There's something super satisfying seeing something like this being modified on a retro bike, but I'm not going to go into too much detail in this video. I think talking about conversions and how they feel and kind of whether you should or not do it and how all these sort of things work deserves an entire video just about it, but so far I just want to say that I am absolutely blown away by how amazing it feels having like disc brakes on a retro bike. Like, it's hard to explain, but it's different than having them on an alley, maybe even a carbon bike, more modern frames. It's just something about it. So that needs a whole video on it. But we've had it done on this bike. The guy who did it for me is a guy called Tomo Bikes. I'm going to link his account here. I'll put a link to his website down in the description below as well. And Tomo is a very talented frame builder. He builds these awesome frames, a lot of track frames, but also there's a documentary recently that he was involved in where he built some tool bikes. So like his kind of abilities are pretty endless. And he also paints the bikes as well. So there's some really cool stuff that he's done so far. So check him out. I'm going to do more with him and talk about him in more detail when I do a whole video about disc brake conversions. But I wanted to kind of I want to get this bike finished in video form. So we'll focus on that first and then we'll come back and talk about some of these sweet details with the help from Tomo or John in a later video. The other thing to mention before we kind of go into the actual build or part of the build in this video today was the mock-ups. So I don't do mock-ups very often. I kind of have I have it in my head exactly what I want to do and then I roll with it. With this build, and you'll learn this more as we go along, the fork and handlebars that I wanted to put on this bike I didn't have, and I was worried I wasn't going to be able to build it in time for the Krusty Cruise. So we do start with a temporary fork and handlebar setup. So because I didn't really know what that would look like, I did do a mock-up, and this is the mock-up here. I did a reel on Instagram as well, and we did really well. You guys really loved it. So I do want to do more mock-ups. The only reason I'm really bringing mock-ups up really is because I want to know more about you guys, and am I the weirdo that doesn't really do mock-ups? Like, does everybody else do mock-ups when they're building? I was really interested about it, so that's the only reason I'm bringing it up, but I'm not going to keep waffling on because we've got a lot of bikes to talk about. So today the plan is to prep the frame ready for the build. I usually T-cut it and make it look all beautiful, but we're not going to do that today. We're going to do something a little bit more aggressive with fire and get some decals on it and kind of just get it ready. So let's get straight into it. Firstly, we need to strip the mock-up down and change these tyres because they're a bit too big.
We're talking like millimeters. I'd even question the fact that if I put a smaller cassette on it and then we dished the wheel a bit differently, it might even fit, but it doesn't fit today. So we do need to change the tyres to something a little bit less aggressive. So today, I just realised I got one glove on. So today, the main things we need to do is, I want more of the frame to look like this. This is kind of the rattiest rat look part you can do. And then it kind of matches the kind of, well, this is actually kind of beautiful, the way this is finished. But I like the bare rawness of it, and I want a little bit more on that on the frame. There's a few chips up here as well that need to be kind of like dealt with. Usually when I prep a frame, it's T-cut, polish, and making it look as new as possible. This is going to be cleaning it so there's no dirt, and then roughing it up. And I might not even use T-cut at all. I just don't know yet. This is a work in progress. I don't even know really exactly what it's going to look like. I do have some decals. I'm going to put some decals on it. We'll see, I guess. So first things first is actually some penetrating oil. I'm going to stick this in pretty much every crevice possible and just fill the frame up a little bit. I think the inside of it's okay, you know, it's not too crazy. But it did have a stuck seat post, so it's not perfect. But I do know that this bike had a lot of customization done by the previous owner. Replaced a load of parts like the fork and the seat post, and that's exactly why the seat post was stuck, and the fork, the inside there is all rusted because I don't think they used any grease or anything like that, so that explains it. I've been meaning to get one of these brushes for ages to clean the inside of there, and I'm going to put it on a trusted Euro. Looks like chocolate. There's definitely a little bit of chunk in there, right in the middle. Don't know if I'll be able to, yeah, you can kind of see like, but I've definitely seen worse. I think we're good to go. Let's clean the rest of the bike. So I'm pretty happy with the way the frame looks currently. So I want to put a seat post in so we can get it in the stand properly and take a proper look at it. But I bent this out when I was trying to get the stuck seat post out. So I thought I'd try and just crimp it a little bit with this before I start putting any bolts in. Yeah, that actually worked. Oh no, I've scratched it slightly. I've misplaced the seat pin, not the seat pin, the bolt that went through it. This should work fine. It's pretty crusty, so should work really fine. Right, now we need to make sure we get grease in it. The only seat post I could find that fits this bike, I ordered one after measuring it and it wasn't quite right, but this one is, for anybody who's interested, 26.2. I think it fits anyway, but it's a little bit crusty, so let's try and get some of this. Where's that? There it is. Use a little 80 grit Scotch pad. Doesn't do very good for the actual metal itself, it's going to scratch it up, but I'm all about that for this build. Main thing is the corrosion. Want that off. Look how deep their seat posts have been in something. And then stuck, and then wrenched out. Oh well, it'll work for this. Now I am actually going to put the seat on first though. I'm going to put this charged spoon, this camouflage one, on the seat. I think it'll look quite cool. Weirdly, once you've put it on the seat post, it kind of makes it look more invisible because of the camouflage. But I've put it on there, honestly. Making sure to use anti-seize on this one. Not messing about. That's interesting. I'm pretty sure that was the right size. Might need to tweak that a little bit later. And I really don't like the way that looks. I think that looks rubbish, but it'll do for now. You have to ignore the noise in the background. Someone's cutting down trees. Right then, so this is where things are going to get interesting, because we're going to get a little bit creative now with the frame and essentially mess it up more. Before I do that though, I do have some decals that I'd like to put on there. I feel like that's a good place to start. So if I then do mess up some of the paint in places and rat it up, the decals are already placed instead of putting it on top of something you've already ratted out. I know that some of you are going to really not like this, but I feel like a lot of you will like this, just to make that clear. It's definitely not the best position, but it's very, very close. So we'll have that. What else is in here? I don't want to just have Saracen written on this frame about 500 times in different places, so I'm not sure if I am going to use all of them. Anyway, let's just get on with the head tube. I realise that's a terrible shot, but I need to be able to see it myself more than you see it. You can look at it afterwards. Focus. Like that pink does look pretty dope. Maybe I could get away with putting another Saracen on. Let's put the other main logo on and see how we get on. So yeah, I definitely did just add this one here. And it is wonky. I was rushing. That's what you get with having such an impulsive personality. You stick decals on without really fully thinking it through. But now I've done it, I'm just going to continue. Which way did I do it? I did it the other way. Okay. Not the greatest placement, but I do like the extra pink, so we'll go for it.
Talking about decals, we have new stickers. I've wanted to do a bootleg set of stickers for ages now, and I've done so many logos in the process, but with help with one of my friends with some ideas, I think I finally got a set. I say I think, we have a set. It's this set here, and I am particularly happy with the one with my face on it. I'm not going to say what they are. It'd be fun for you to kind of put in the comments below which logos I've used, and they're available on our website now. It's on spray.bikes.com. These are being sold as a pack. They're going to be £10 or whatever that converts into other currencies around the world, and you can get them now. There's not many of them. Just heads up, there's not many of them. If they sell out in one go, which I'm hoping or imagine they will, I'll reorder some, because I don't know if you want these. I just really wanted to make them. That's why they exist. But yeah, back to the video.
So I've actually bought a very special fork and handlebar set to go on this bike, but it hasn't arrived yet. And because I'm building this for my group ride, I kind of need it on something. So this is an AliExpress fork that I bought a while ago, and it's fine, but I kind of have an impulse to kind of chuck a load of stickers on it. So I'm gonna go put some stickers on it, and I'll be right back. And just like that, sticker bond. Anybody you recognise? Gary, you got Spin Dat, Medium Atelier, Paradise Cycles, Rook, Bones Mend, little pie paste one in there. Anyway, but it is a temporary fork after all, so can you tell that I'm not actually that sure now I've put it on there? It'll be fine. Right then, next part is I want to burn up some more of this frame, which is going to hurt slightly to do, but it's already totaled here, so doing a little couple extra bits won't matter too much. Probably get the lighter out of my pocket before I start. Definitely set my finger on fire then. Well, this bit was all rusted, so I figured that would be a good place to start. But I kind of like just the bubbliness of it. But it's now all at the top, so we need to do something at the bottom. Let's get in there. But I'm not gonna lie, I'm well happy with that. But it's definitely on fire on the inside now. But it now looks like it's meant to be, instead of just like I've totaled the thing. I'm not gonna lie, I am well happy with that. I think it looks sick. But what I might do to try and protect it a little bit is, you know, actually no, I'm not. No, I'm not. I was talking to John, who did the actual mods on the disc brake caliper, put the tabs on, and he said about just the fact that a lot of people just put like oil on it to protect it, and that's it. It will patina, but he also said that a lot of people will lacquer it up after going back to like metal like that. If you want to keep it raw, it's always going to rust. So let's see if we can put some oil on it or something to prevent it from patinaing too quickly, but keep it raw. So a lot of time has passed since I did this. I've been thinking really hard on what I want to do and kind of how I want to protect it, and I've decided I do not. This is hopefully a very long-term bike of mine. I think ultimately I'd like to repaint it completely, but I also really like messing about and doing fun things like this. So I feel like I'm going to leave it like this and kind of manage the patina, I could always add some rust converter to it down the line. I could still build it up and do that. So yeah, I really like the way it looks. It's just so stupid. But I do worry that I've just burnt all the rust preventer I put inside the frame, so I'm going to add a little bit more of that, and then it's on to building the bike.
Right then, and I'm actually going to leave it there. The next video will be me building the bike up, and I'm going to try my hardest to finish it in that video, but I simply run out of time this week to edit anymore, so this is the video you're getting. Hope you enjoyed it. That sounded a little bit aggressive, I'm sorry. Please enjoy my videos. I take a lot of time making them. But I'm also working on a few review videos for some cool e-bikes and some product reviews. I'm also working on the Crusty Cruise video as well. So there's so much coming. I may even post several videos next week just because I love you like that. And I have a lot of content going on at the moment. So let's see what we can do. But next week's video on Sunday will definitely be the next part of this build, and I'm going to try my best to finish it in that. So it might be a longer video. That's a good shout actually. Let me know what you think about these longer videos I've been doing recently, because that video potentially could be almost an hour. Is that something you want, or do we want to split it into 2 parts? Let me know in the comments below. And if you're new to the channel, do feel free to subscribe. Actually, that one, subscribe. And if you can't wait until the next video, that one there is a particularly good one.